Hi, this is Adam from MLS Arms in Phoenix, Arizona, coming to you with a disassembly, reassembly video, just a quick field strip of our PW9. And this is a side charger, 9mm caliber, and it's a pistol. So now you see it's safe and clear. We have our takedown pin, so very similar to a regular AR-15 receiver. And it has Picatinny rail on the back, so you can put your favorite brace or SBR this. So we're gonna take an Allen head, do a quick removal. Buffer retainer can be tight, and should be, but it is retained by the back plate. Make sure you have free movement. We're also going to do cleaning, so I will show you where you put your oil or favorite grease. That's all there is to it. All right, inside we have our 9mm carrier, op rod and spring. And so the retaining pin can be removed to remove your firing pin, which is retained here. You don't ever want to put any oil or grease here in the bolt face, as you can get a high pressure situation. But basically the only areas that you need oil are in areas where you're going to have metal on metal, and just for wear reduction as well as smooth operation. You can see we have oil on here already, but we're going to use our sriracha sauce. So I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down. Remove. It's always fun working with the camera in front of you. Just a little bit of dirt. And of course, oil is always going to darken whatever you're using, paper towel or whatever you're using for cleaning on these. So chamber is nice and clear, so we're not going to worry about that, as this isn't one of our firearms we're shooting. This is actually one of our firearms that's for sale now in the shop. So I like to go ahead and take some of our sriracha sauce. Normally I'd just use my finger, but working with electronics isn't conducive to that, so we'll just rub it in a little bit. You cannot really over lubricate your system, and that's the first thing to know. If you put what you think might be a little too much, that's okay. You talk to 5 different people, they're going to give you 5 different ways on the areas that you need to go ahead and clean. It is important to put your oil on the bottom of your carrier. That is a contact point and a wear surface, and it just makes everything real nice and slick. Depending on the type of coating that you have on your bolt carrier, some will absorb oil better than others. Phosphate or Parkerized just sucks up oil like crazy. But nitride, nickel boron, nickel Teflon, then you'll have PVD coatings, you'll have, sometimes you'll see some that are Cerakoted. That way you'll all have different areas. You want to have some oil in your spring. Some people have differing opinions on that. I'm going to put oil in the spring. So we're not going to put an enormous amount, because anywhere you put oil, you're also going to get carbon, dirt. Then on your inside contact points, we want to put it on locking portions of your hammer and trigger, on the lockup, and we want to get down in the springs. And then we use Q-tips just to locate it to make sure that those areas, because they do move, we don't want them to bind. And you don't have to go crazy, because if you have an excessive amount, it's just going to move. So we put some on the safety. It's usually a black oxide coating on some of these metal parts because they're a heavier gauge tool steel. So we just want to get a little bit of lubrication on here. All right. Then we'll go ahead and put a little bit on the buffer. And then move it around, because we don't want anything globbed up in there, because typically it'll exit the firearm. You'll wear your lubrication sometimes. That's okay. You know, it happens to the best of us. I like to make sure that our metal parts, for a long use of the firearm, we want it to have a nice long life. So reassemble. Go ahead and put your bolt in first in your carrier. Slides right in. After you assemble your bolt carrier, so your takedown pin and your pivot pin can be put into place, and just finger tight's fine with these. So tight is tight, but you should not need a wrench to get this off every time. So there's what the back side of your retainer plate. Very similar to your AR-15. Just shrunk down for use in 9mm. All right, now that your firearm is lubricated, you're ready to go back out to the range and fire. Anywhere that you have any excess, just a simple paper towel, wiping it off, it's fine. And the firearm is a tool, and they're also very nice to look at. And so don't worry if you make a little bit of a mess first time you clean your firearm. Anytime you have questions, please feel free to email us. Comment below. You can call us here at the shop. We have multiple gunsmiths on hand at any given time. be able to answer all your firearms questions. If you're in the local area, drop down, see the shop. We have these for sale, as well as ammo, parts, and accessories. We do coatings, laser engraving, and firearm maintenance and repair. If you feel that you just don't want to get into this and a couple times a year you want us to go ahead and clean your firearm, bring it down to the shop, we'd be happy to do it for you.